2020, my first 10K ever. I'm crossing the finish line, raising my arms in the air like I've conquered Everest. Don't judge me, I know it's a bit too much for a 10K, but that picture, that moment, is exactly how I felt about life at 46. I was at the top of my game. Fresh off successful exit, partner role at the top firm, grown-up kids, a husband who actually thinks I'm brilliant. Took me twice to get that one right. I've done the hard part. I checked off all life big boxes while keeping everyone happy. I was flying high. I felt unstoppable. Only 12 months later, everything fell apart. I was exhausted, but I couldn't sleep. Muscles and joint pain made me quit running. My body was accumulating weight like winter is coming. My brain, my superpower, started betraying me mid-sentences. I used to be one of the sharpest people in the room, and now I was recording meetings in secret, terrified someone would notice I couldn't keep up. Emotionally, I was all over the place. One meeting, I'm exploding at my colleagues, and the next, I can't stop crying and feeling so ashamed. I was losing control over my mind, my body, my identity. For the first time in my fast-track life, I had to pause. So I quit. I walked away from everything I worked so hard to build, to figure out what was wrong with me and fix it. For 2 years, I chased answers. Dozens of doctors, blood tests, MRIs, specialists, you name it, I probably paid for it. No one could tell me what was going on. I started wondering, maybe it's all in my head? Maybe this is what getting old feels like? I was in my late 40s. Textbook age, textbook symptoms, but not one doctor, not one friend, not even my own mother said the word menopause. Here's everything you should know about menopause in 30 seconds. It's a hormonal shift that starts in your early 40s, long before your period stops. It comes with over 80 symptoms and still counting: physical, cognitive, and emotional. 98% of women experience at least one of these symptoms. And when left untreated, they not only impact the quality of life, but also increase the risk of heart disease, osteoporosis, and even dementia. Pretty straightforward, right? Still, it took me another year to find a treatment that actually worked. But when I did, it was like magic. I got myself back. Now, I'm an engineer by training. Nobody's perfect. So overanalyzing, overthinking. Obviously, I couldn't stop asking, why did it take me 3 years to diagnose and treat a condition that happens to every single woman around my age? And I'm not talking about some fringe treatment, but FDA-approved first-line therapy for menopause symptoms. It just didn't click. So I went looking for data. Turns out, my 3-year struggle wasn't an exception. In fact, I was one of the lucky ones. 1 billion women are navigating menopause as we speak. Only 15% receive treatment. The other 85, they pay the price in their health, relationships, careers. Like me, 1 in 10 women leave their jobs. 1 in 5 consider it. And the economic implications, according to the World Economic Forum, this treatment gap costs global economy $120 billion every single year. The numbers tell the story. 85% treatment gap, it's not a glitch in the system. It's a failure by design. It's a system that was never built to support us. Now, systems is kind of my thing. Designing and improving systems is what I do. I built 2 companies, spent most of my career doing exactly that. I should have spotted the broken system from miles away, but I didn't. And I felt so stupid. But that's the catch. Because when you're inside, you cannot see it. But once I saw it, I couldn't walk away. I read every study, talked to doctors, policymakers. I interviewed hundreds of women, and the stories piled up. Women were dismissed, misdiagnosed, confused, unaware, ashamed, blaming themselves. Women are suffering alone in silence. And as I dug deeper to analyze why the system is failing so badly, what I discovered left me speechless. I counted 75 different barriers preventing women from life-saving treatment. And then, barrier by barrier, piece by piece, an invisible maze revealed itself, standing between women and the care they need. There's no entrance sign. First symptoms creep in slowly, and before you know it, you're already lost inside. You see 5 different specialists for your symptoms. Nobody connects the dots, so you second guessing yourself. You can't see the barriers because you don't know that menopause isn't even taught in medical school. Half the population, half their lives, never made it into the syllabus. When you finally suspect it yourself, shame and denial kicks in. You feel like you've been assigned to a club you don't want to be part of, the expiration date club. So you hide it. In fact, 50% of women don't even tell their partners they're in menopause. And the truth is, you can't treat something you won't even admit. So you Google it alone, looking for answers, and you fall into a rabbit hole of misinformation and fear. One single study from 2002 still holds 80% of women terrified of hormone therapy. And that study was corrected years ago, but the fear never left the building. If you decide to break free from Dr. Google anxiety and look for real-life menopause specialists, guess what? There's no such thing. We have proctologists, a whole specialty for one tiny part of our behind, but a condition that affects 50% of population for half their life doesn't even have its own medical field. So you go to your gynecologist, you trust them, they probably delivered your kid. And they might say something like, it will pass. It doesn't worth the risk for just a few minor symptoms. Little did you know that gynecologists get just 3 hours of menopause training. I mean, I spent twice that long just choosing this outfit. Imagine what that feels like. You wake up one morning, inside the maze, you can't even see. Unaware, you keep hitting invisible walls just to be bounced back again and again, thinking, it must be your fault. You must be doing something wrong. That's menopause in our healthcare system. Gaslighting at scale. Designed by decades of shame, stigma, and plain old neglect. Now, don't you think that women deserve better? And at what point did we agree to become so invisible? For me, that was the turning point. Closing the treatment gap became my mission. But I knew that fixing 75 different barriers could take forever. And as a woman in menopause, I don't have the time or the patience to wait. So I thought, what if instead of waiting for the system to change, we'll give women the tools to thrive within the broken system. A map for the maze. But as I dug deeper, I realized a simple map is not enough. The menopause journey is deeply personal, shaped by each woman's unique symptoms, emotions, identity, and fears. There's no single path through the maze. What women really need to navigate this ever-changing journey is their own personal dream theme. A NASA-level navigator who knows the way around the maze, a 24/7 doctor who can translate science into daily support, and a good friend who really cares, all in one. So I built it. It's an AI Dream Team companion that ensures no woman will have to go through the invisible maze alone. It proactively helps women to connect the dots, understand their options, prepare for doctor appointments, and track the progress. And this is how transforming the system begins. Women show up at doctor appointments not as lost patients, but as informed partners. And the ripple effect? We stop being ashamed. We start talking to our partners, to our friends, to our colleagues. Gradually, we are breaking the silence that keeps the maze invisible. And then, instead of being lost alone in the maze, we are rediscovering our collective strength. The impact of this collective power, this winergy, inspired me to fuel this movement. So I started a podcast, completely out of my comfort zone. It went viral, and it became a growing community that demanding and driving real change. I'm 51 today, and I feel like I'm at the top of a whole new game. Remember her? I wish I could tell to my 46 years old version, whose life is about to fall apart, hang in there. The best is yet to come. Because you're going to discover what unstoppable really means when you unleash menopause. You're going to realize that menopause actually upgraded your brain, gave you clarity and new perspective, and that the estrogen decline shifted your focus from taking care of everyone else to finally unapologetically put yourself first. And you're going to find yourself capable of doing the things that you never even knew you wanted, like standing on this incredible stage and say to the world, for too long, we've been told that when our fertility ends, it's the beginning of our ends. That menopause means old, undesirable, expired. Look around you. The only thing that is expired is this outdated narrative. 45 million women from my generation enter menopause every year. My generation changed being single in your 30s from spinster and old maid to Sex in the City. My generation started Me Too and said enough. We rewrote the rules for marriage, work, sex, and leadership. And now we are taking on menopause. Because when our fertility ends, our next phase begins. We are leveling up. Menopause isn't pause time, it's power time. It's our time. And we are done just surviving menopause. We are unleashing it. Woo!